Hey everybody, welcome to Live at 5. I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
I'm Andy Lefkowitz.
And we have a wonderful guest for you today.
Yes.
We have Nneka Okafor from Too Heavy for Your Pocket will be joining us in just a little bit. Yes, give a round of applause. But first, we have a little bit of news.
We sure do.
Right?
Yes. So we have more casting for Pretty Woman, the musical.
Yes.
Yes. So Kingsley Leggs has been announced to join the cast.
What a great name.
Yeah, great name.
Kingsley Leggs.
Yes, and a great talent, too. You guys might recognize Kingsley. He was in the original production of The Color Purple. He was the original Mr. He was in Sister Act on Broadway. He's done a lot of national touring productions. Really talented guy. He's going to be playing the role of James Morse, and this is the role that was played on screen by Ralph Bellamy.
Oh, okay.
So, as we know, Pretty Woman is going to play an out-of-town run at Chicago's Oriental Theater from March 13th on in 2018.
Hopefully forever.
Yeah, almost forever, and then to Broadway after Chicago. So, really pumped about that.
Yeah, and this cast is amazing.
Incredible.
I love
Oh my gosh. Samantha
Barks
Barks is going to be playing Vivian.
Oh.
Steve Kazee is going to be playing Edward.
Orphe.
Yes, and we also have Orphe in there as Kit DeLuca, Jason Daniely as Philip Stuckey, and Eric Anderson as Mr. Thompson.
Great cast. I can't wait to see
I cannot wait.
So
excited.
excited.
I love that movie.
Speaking of new shows, we've been hearing about Baz Luhrmann's musical, the musical adaptation of Baz Luhrmann's Strictly Ballroom, the musical, for a while now. And we now have its casting for the West End production. I apologize if I don't get these pronunciations right, but Johnny Labey will play the role of Scott, and Zizi Stralin will be playing the role of Fran. And this is based on the 1992 film, and it's about a maverick championship ballroom dancer, Scott, who defies all the rules of competition to follow his heart by teaming up with a left-footed partner. What stakes?
I'm sold. Like,
exactly,
you're reading of that, dude.
And yeah, they're going for the national championship.
Yes.
So previews of this show, which I'm very excited about as well, begin on March 16th, 2018, with an opening scheduled for April 11th at the Piccadilly Theater in the West End.
Yes.
So, have you seen Strictly Ballroom?
I have not, but I kind of have to check out
You have
the film.
to, absolutely.
I know.
It's so good.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the West End, Carey Mulligan, who was just on Broadway a couple seasons ago, is going to star in Dennis Kelly's new play, Girls and Boys. Now, Dennis Kelly,
the Matilda book writer, right?
Matilda book writer. So Girls and Boys is, it centers on a couple who meet in an airport, settle down, buy a house, have kids, but slowly their world begins to unravel and takes a disturbing turn.
A disturbing turn?
So,
oh, no.
I know, right? So it'll play London's Royal Court Theatre, and previews begin on February 8th, 2018.
And Lindsay Turner.
Yes, Lindsay Turner is directing.
Yes, so good.
Yes, really talented.
Girls and Boys. There is a new Culturalist challenge up, and this poses the question, which Ryan Murphy favorite would you like to come to Broadway? So we have The Boys in the Band, which is coming to Broadway, and Zach Quinto, who's been a part of a lot of these Ryan Murphy shows, is going to be in that. If you had to pick, do you watch American Horror Story? Do you know who the Ryan Murphy canon of actors is?
I don't. However, I know that Dennis O'Hare is in there, correct?
He is,
and
yes.
His performance in Take Me Out on Broadway, holy moly, he's super talented. I would love to see him come back to the stage.
It's been a long time since Dennis O'Hare has been. Yeah. My pick is Connie Britton, because
she's super talented.
I need to see Connie Britton on Broadway.
Yes,
it is so please, if you're watching, please.
All right. Yes, you had your moment. It's great. So The Band's Visit, the new musical The Band's Visit, opened on Broadway last night. The Band's Visit, my heart.
So
beautiful. So we have red carpet photos on the site, and also a red carpet challenge with Matt Rodin called Band Geeks. Did you watch this?
It's
hysterical. Amazing. Oh my gosh, what he had the folks do on the red carpet
and the stars of the show. Yeah, like just make the sounds of
instruments,
of different instruments. It's hysterical. He doesn't even like really set it up. He just launches.
Yeah,
right
it just
into
happens.
It's so
it's
good.
probably the the best music you'll hear today.
It's
aside from
fantastic.
the original music of the band's visit, which
Of
is
course.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also a new Never Have I Ever is up with Carolee Carmelo and Hugh Pinero of Sweeney Todd. You can watch that right now. They are wonderful. And if it's not up yet, it should be going up very soon, a brand new episode of the Broadway.com show with some footage of the band's visits opening night. We've also got some School of Rock stuff in there. So good stuff in that episode.
Good stuff.
Anything else you'd like to add on this
No,
Friday?
well, I will say that keep your eyes peeled because we have an exclusive interview with Jake Shears, who's going to be going into Kinky Boots, and that'll be
yes,
going up
Scissor
before the end of the
Sisters.
day.
So good.
So excited about that.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you so much,
you
Andy.
bet it.
And we will be right back with Nneka Okafor.
For Carole King, finding the top of the charts was easy. Finding her own voice was beautiful. Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Broadway's Come From Away is a Best Musical winner all across North America. This stirring and inspiring musical takes you to a place you never want to leave. Celebrate the best of humankind and the best in all of us at Come From Away, the remarkable true story of the small town that welcomed the world.
Welcome back, and we are joined by Nneka Okafor from Too Heavy for Your Pocket. Thank you so much
Hi.
for joining
Thanks for
us.
having me.
Yes,
I'm so
round of
excited.
applause.
So kind. Thanks
So
for having me.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah?
doing really well, staying warm in
Yes,
this
it's
cold
freezing
weather.
today. Yeah.
My ears and my fingers are the first to go whenever it starts to get cold,
Yeah.
so I'm just like doing the best that I can.
Right. Now you are part of a show that is beloved. Like you guys have had, you've already extended, right?
Yes,
You've extended
we
once.
did
You're going
extend.
through November 26th
Yes.
now. People love this show. How
so
are
much.
things going at the Black Box
Thanks.
Theater
It's
for
been
you?
such an incredible experience. I mean, everyone from cast to crew has just been so remarkable in terms of just creating such precious experience, for not
Yeah.
only for us, but for our audience members that come in to experience the show. It's been really awesome.
How did you tell me a little bit about how you first discovered it? Was it brought to you? Did you read
Sure.
it? Take us
I
through.
read. It was a very roundabout way, actually.
Well done.
I had to do it again. I got the script and I auditioned, and as soon as I read the script, I fell in love with it. Our playwright, Jure Holder, just has such a way with language.
Yeah.
And the story is so remarkable because, yes, it talks about kind of the heroes that we look back on and think about in the civil rights movement, but really it's about the people, the unheard of people
Right.
who were kind of on the outskirts that we don't know in the history books.
Yeah, I've seen a couple describe the people that kind of were either left behind or left at home.
Yes.
That you really explore the inner lives of a
and
little
that's
bit.
what I found to be really touching is his way of showing us the relationships between these very human people in such a tumultuous time.
Right.
Yeah.
If anyone isn't familiar with it, so let's give a little background. So it's set
Sure.
in 1961.
Yes.
You're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes,
And
correct.
who are you?
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about.
Totally. I play Sally Mae Carter, and it centers around four individuals, two couples in the outskirts of Nashville in Tennessee in 1961. One of the young men gets a scholarship to Fisk University, and he chooses to leave that behind to become a freedom rider. In 1961 to desegregate the bus system in Jim Crow South.
Right, and there are different reactions that he gets from his. They're all
Totally.
friends, and but like he considers all these people family, right?
Such a
And-
close group, such a close-knit group of people, his wife, his dear friends, and a very, very strong reactions,
Right.
you know, because one of the really beautiful things about the play, it raises the idea of what is the idea of protest? Is it on a macro level of galvanizing and getting on a bus, or is it the choice to stay home and raise a family and
Right.
find dignity in that?
I read one review that was pointed out an interesting idea of that protesting is privilege, essentially, right?
Totally.
Like it's if you have the time to be able to do such a thing, and that character explores that a lot, right?
Absolutely. Finding that's true. It's like the privilege to kind of walk away from an education, and especially in Bosie's case, the young man who does take that ride,
Right.
in a situation where he isn't privileged, where he had this opportunity for a free ride scholarship, but what was more pressing and more of a priority was finding the dignity and justice, and keeping that for the next generation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sally Mae, the character you play, is really just the heart of this show. And it's such an interesting developments happen with her
So
throughout
kind.
what drew you to that character? Why were you anxious to explore her?
Totally. She is so stoic and strong and very measured. And I found that to be incredibly grounding and fascinating, especially a woman where a black woman in 1961, where her opportunities are very limited, but
Right.
finding the joy in those opportunities that present themselves to her, and finding the dignity of motherhood, the dignity of
Right.
being a wife, the dignity of being a friend, and what that means. And her awakening as the play unravels is pretty special
Right.
to experience.
And
Yeah.
it's just the four of you up there,
It
and
is.
it's so.
That's
I mean,
what
that's
we always say. It's like it's just us four up here,
Yeah.
and developing that relationship. But I will say, our director Margot Bordelon was phenomenal in really establishing the groundwork to create these memories that we really dove in page by page. And
Yeah.
if there was ever a question, like, what is that memory? The specificity is really what rooted us in our relationships. And Margot and Jure just really helped us let it fly and go from there.
I mean, it's so rare to be able to have that kind of experience where it's just four of you all in
Yeah.
it together, where you
Yeah.
become this family. How has it been getting to know these people and being able to work with them? I mean, are these
joy
like
of a
friends
lifetime.
for life now?
The joy of a lifetime. Ebony Flowers, Hampton Fluker, Brandon Gill are the other actors in this piece, and they are so near and dear to my heart because we really dove in. Everybody was game from day one. We dove in wanting just to like give it our all, and you just can't help but bond
Right.
going through such an experience like that. And it's
Yeah.
been so special, and they're phenomenal actors and incredible people. And we get to play. We always say, let's go out there and play and have some fun.
Yeah. Has your playwright talked about, because when you see the play, it immediately brings to mind things like August Wilson's work
Sure,
and Lorraine
sure.
Hansberry. Like, did he ever talk
Sure.
about inspirations that pulling from? Or?
Yeah, I know he's a big fan of Toni Morrison, and would read.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Those are
would read her books ferociously when he was younger, and I think, he really has those sources of inspiration to help him write. But really, this story comes from his own family's experience.
Gotcha.
His grandmother's story. He was watching. I think it was The Butler with his grandmother.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, that reminds me. This young man that I knew threw away his education to go hop on a bus." And I think from there, and Jure's own experience at Yale, getting his master's, I think those experiences kind of planted the seed for him for where Too Heavy for Your Pocket came from. So I think a combination of having his own inspiration and his family really kind of was the
that's
strong
fascinating.
foundation
Oh,
of
wow.
the play. Yeah.
And the play is set. We're in essentially your kitchen.
Yes.
The whole time, right?
Yeah.
And the whole floor is covered in what looks like grass.
Yeah.
It's like a turf. And I remember reading that this was in his like notes.
Yes.
Like the grass
everywhere. Yes.
Any idea from him about what that's all about?
Yeah, I think it's the idea of wanting the audience to feel like they are kind of a fly on the wall, and that they're invited into the living room, that they are a part of this experience. And I know me and my castmates, we always say, like, the audience is the fifth member.
Yeah.
It changes every night, but they are very much a part of the experience. It's like we see them, but we don't see them. Their energy is there, and they kind of come in to kind of watch this secret unfold.
Right.
And so the grass everywhere, it just kind of invites everybody in to kind of feel like a comfy, cozy experience.
It's so cool. And everyone that you talk to that has seen it talks about how they felt like they were in the South watching, like, just because it's a small little space that you're in, but with the lighting and with the sets, and it feels like you're in the summertime South, like, in that must just be so interesting to work on.
It's such a different experience, but in the best of ways. The underground space is such a jewel box because everything is, a little bit on a smaller scale, but the impact is in some ways could be argued greater just because you're so close to the actors. You can experience.
You're in their home.
Yeah, experience the journey of this play with us, and it's really special in that way. Yeah.
So I want to talk about you a little bit. How did you, if you'll
about
indulge me?
Okay.
So how did you get into acting? You're from Texas,
I'm from
right?
Houston, Texas. Yeah, I went to performing arts high school. I auditioned for performing arts high school for performing and visual arts in Houston, Texas, and that's when it really planted the seed for me that this like interest or hobby of mine could be a career, possibly.
Right. Yeah.
And from there, I went to UCLA, and I just like moved out to New York and really started figuring out like, okay, how do equity calls work? Like, what does that? What does that mean? Like, where do I sign up? Like, how does that work?
Right.
And kind of going from there and just auditioning and just giving it my best.
Was there like a drama club at your high school? Is that sort of what, or did you do community theater?
Yeah, it was an all-intensive kind of performing arts high school. So we would have our normal classes, math, science, history, and half of the part of the day, and then the art area in the second part of the day. And so my art area is theater, and so it's kind of like LaGuardia High School.
I was going to say it sounds similar to their sort of structure. Yeah, it's a similar type of experience
and structure.
Right, and then UCLA.
And then I just happened upon a situation in New York where there was a sublet available, and I hopped on the sublet, and I was just kind of like, I think I really like the energy of the city. I think I want to give it a try. I mean, this is where theater really lives and breathes and thrives, and why not give it a go?
Yeah, and you did that fantastic play, Our Lady of Kibeho.
Thank you.
Was that? Was that your New York stage debut?
That was my New York stage debut, and I was incredibly lucky because
that play was
thank you. Katori Hall. I will sing her praises to the ends of the earth because she is really
I had no idea
hero
about
of mine.
that story.
Yeah, it's a really remarkable, true story. And Michael Greif was our director.
That's right.
Represented
now with Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, that Michael Greif, he's a busy guy.
He's pretty talented. Keep your eye on that one.
He's a pretty talented fella. But that was also another incredible experience. And again, where our cast and crew was so bonded because it was such a special story. And a new play also, which was a cool experience. Katori was very much involved in the writing process or making alterations or edits and very much a part of the experience. And she was just so generous with her time and energy.
I loved
really
that
incredible.
play. And so that was set in the 80s, right?
Yes.
And so this is the 60s, and you've done Shakespeare in the Park. So you've yet to do a modern way.
That is so true. I didn't even think about that. That's so true.
Maybe you're subconsciously drawn to these other eras
I know. I'm like time traveling.
Right. And did you ever get to, speaking of Shakespeare in the Park, did you ever get to experience that as a audience member before being a part of it?
Yes, I did get to experience it as an audience member, and it was so cool. I mean, just the whole, it's so romantic. I mean, you're just out
that's the
there.
best word for it.
Yeah, it's so romantic and enchanting, and it's just like the moonlight and the sunsets, and it's just like hearing the words of Shakespeare. It's just so romantic. So just to be able to audition and be a part of it eventually was such a
so cool. You've had quite a nice run since getting here. Since that sublet worked out.
I know, the sublet hooked me up. Everything was,
And it's been really good. How does it, so I mean, going from Texas, moving to California, but now living in New York City, did you immediately fall in love with the city, or has it been in a piece by piece love affair for you?
I will say, and this isn't just because I'm like in New York City, but I did fall in love with it pretty instantaneously. Yeah. But I will say I missed Tex-Mex quite a bit.
I think I've read somewhere that queso.
Oh my Lord, here we go. It's true. I am an avid fan of queso. It's a very
What are we doing wrong?
I know. It's like it's the consistency. It's the right kind of cheese so that when you dip that tortilla or flour tortilla or corn, whatever you want to put in there, it's the right kind of like.
Did you try Chipotle's attempt at queso?
I did.
And it was.
From the South,
I don't want to ruin a future relationship with Chipotle, but
I did try it.
Keep tinkering, Chipotle.
It's to each their own.
Right. What do you like to do in the city during your free time when you're not busy up on stage there?
Free time.
Yeah. Do you have any of that anymore?
Yeah. Mondays are a good day to get all the errands done. But on my free time, honestly, the difficult thing is not being able to see shows when you're in a show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course.
And so whenever we have an opportunity or if our schedule for whatever reason changes, I try to go and see friend shows. I love to go running. I love just to be outside.
Yeah.
But now that it's getting a little chilly.
Getting freezing.
I know. Now it's getting freezing, and I'm just like, well, there goes that.
It's so bitter.
Back to
It's
my
so- yeah.
Netflix and like hanging out at home.
Right.
which is
Anything
good.
anything you've seen? I mean, I could go talk to you about
Yeah,
Netflix all day.
all day
It's,
long.
yeah. Are you a Stranger Things fan?
Am I a Stranger Things fan?
How incredible is this
am.
season two?
You know, I have to say though, I'm saving it. I haven't started
Oh,
season
okay.
2
No,
because
good.
I already
Oh.
know how I am. I'm just gonna deep dive and then I'm not gonna sleep, and it's a whole
Right.
thing.
It's gonna take over your
Gotta
life.
give it some time. Yeah.
What shows have you seen? Theater shows have you seen that you've loved recently? Anything that
I
you're
will
really
say
passionate
something
about?
that has stuck with me for a very long time is Ivo van Hove's A View from the Bridge.
Oh my goodness!
Was
Absolutely, yeah,
Stunning.
incredible, yeah.
Incredibly so stripped down.
Mhm.
Mark Strong's performance, everybody's performance in that production
good.
was so beyond anything that I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
And
that
then
I
you followed it
still-
up with The Crucible,
Oh
which
my
was
gosh,
another,
yeah,
like, what a
he is
spoiled
so-
season we
you
had.
know? Yeah, and it's like that production really just like I think about it often.
Hmm. I have we have a viewer asking about where you trained, which we sort of talked about a
Yeah.
little bit. But a popular question as well is, I mean, you're still very young. You're getting your start in all
Yeah.
this. If you had sort of advice for up and coming, for
Sure.
aspiring performers,
Absolutely. The
where
advice,
would you?
yeah, where would I start? One thing I would say for sure is you never know, just plant the seeds because you never know what will bear fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And even the smallest of opportunities, take them because they're a learning experience. And if you really, 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 really love it, you will find a way and somebody will take notice and somebody will give you that opportunity, and work
Yeah.
begets work, and just hang in there and learn as much as you can and find inspiration in everything that you do. Get your head out of your phone and your like earplugs and just
Yeah.
take in the world, because that will serve you when you're up there
Right.
doing what you love.
What was your favorite part of your UCLA training? Because I don't think I haven't met very many people that have been a part of that program in particular.
Yeah, some people are like, well, you're in California, like, don't you just
You
love
don't
the
wanna do
weather? Why?
movies?
Yeah,
And
do
yeah.
movies? Yeah. You know, UCLA was a really awesome experience in terms of just like the people that were there were really special, and it was kind of like a great way just to get a myriad of things learn about and like done under the sun of like
Yeah.
the TFT
Do you put on like
program.
full productions there?
Yeah,
Is that where...
full on productions, and yeah, kind of just get back to the basics, just back to the basics of acting and
Right.
you know, Theaterland and.
Do you
all
have
that
any?
stuff.
Do you have any classic dream roles that you hope to?
Ooh,
or
classic dream roles.
anything that you want to try your hand at?
I know. You know what? I will say, and I'm not just saying this because I've done a few new shows. I'm really excited about new productions.
Oh, absolutely.
And new stories
Being able to
told.
originate a role.
Yeah,
and-
that is so special. I think
Yeah.
it's such. I love workshops of new plays because it's such. I mean, how often does one get the opportunity to be with the playwright and kind of asking them directly a question
Yeah.
that you may have?
Right.
That you know.
And having your questions influence
Oh,
like how that role
totally.
goes further,
It's
and
such
yeah.
like it's like it's like Hocus Pocus Cauldron. It's like very
yes. Good reference.
it's just like, you know, it's such a cool experience.
It
And
is.
you know, we all love Shakespeare, but if there's a
Yeah.
question, it's like
right.
figure it out in the end. Iambic.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
any are there like directors or writers that you're drawn to that you would love, that you dream of working with? Or-
Ivo van Hove, I just think.
I get it,
yeah,
yeah.
he is so. I'm really struck by his work and his interpretations
Yeah.
of older works. So he is somebody that I really admire and would love an opportunity to work with. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Alec would like to know if you would like to do a piece of work on Broadway. That's probably a pretty easy question.
Absolutely, I would love to. That would be special and fun.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down.
What's something that I want to
Yeah.
bring it back to your show a little bit?
Sure.
What's something about playing Sally Mae that you've learned about yourself? How has that character affected you, changed Nneka at all?
Yeah, that's a good question, because whenever I finish a show, I mean, she lives with me and I think about things and I receive the world a little bit differently when I'm in a show, just because I think about how that applies in my own life through her perspective. I would say really having a groundedness and just navigating the world is something that I really admire and respect in Sally Mae. It's just
Right.
kind of dropping into that grounded, anchored assuredness a little bit is something I really admire.
For sure. Is it easy for you to kind of shed the skin of your character at the end of the day, or does she kind of stay with?
Yeah, you know, I think I don't. It's interesting because I as I move through life, and even when I walk away from the black box, I still kind of take in the world a little differently, just because I think in the back of my mind,
Absolutely.
I'm very much still thinking about the show, and it's a beautiful thing because then I learn so much more about myself and kind of, it's like a Venn diagram. It's like Nneka, Sally Mae, like where do we meet in the middle, you know?
Right. Are you a big reader? Is that like with your? Do you
Yeah.
like to dive into like the texts of what you're working on? or-
Totally. I love to just dive in as much as I possibly can, not only in the text, but just like the social context of what's going on, and like just finding as much information as I can that will help inform the world of the play, inform
Yeah.
Sally's perspective on things in the play. Okay, what are her means? What is possible for her in 1961? How would that possibly would Fisk be an opportunity for her to have, or
Right.
is family something that's more of a higher value for her? Because if she goes to Fisk, well, what's the next step? Is she going to be a professional? I think being at home for her is what's more of value.
Absolutely.
So yeah, a lot of reading. We were really fortunate to have such an awesome thick packet
Right.
on day one of rehearsal to
And
kind
I
of
mean,
go
it's just
through.
such an incredible time in this country's history
my
with so
gosh.
much like to sort of dive into
And
there.
there's so much to dive into, and it's wild because even though it's 1961, it's a lot of similar themes, very analogous with what's going on in our world
Absolutely.
today, you know.
Absolutely. Because it's such an intimate space, you get to see those audience reactions.
Yeah.
What have you noticed in terms of audiences that are coming to see this show?
Sure.
Are you, I'm sure you're bringing them,
Oh,
taking them
sweet.
through it, but what have
Thanks.
you?
I don't want to give too much away about the play, but there's a lot of breathing that goes on, and I find that when we exhale, I hear the audience exhale with us, inhale, exhale with us,
Yeah.
which is pretty remarkable, and
Yeah.
it feels like, you're with us,
Right.
you're on the ride with us.
And if nothing else, that is theater, right?
Yeah,
like
that
that's
is
live theater.
That's
yeah.
live theater that can't be bought
Right.
or repeated, and every night is different, and every night is so special.
Right.
You know.
Well, it's a very special play that you're all doing over there.
so
So of
much.
course.
I'll
So
tell the
make
crew.
sure, please do,
Yeah.
and make sure if you haven't seen it yet, you go see Too Heavy for Your Pocket, starring Nneka Okafor and an incredible cast. You won't regret it. It's a beautiful piece of work. And thank you so much for joining us.
This is so fun. Is
No,
it
please,
over already?
I know. I wish it could
ready
go
to
on
go.
all day. But come back anytime. You're
Thank
always
you.
welcome.
Thank
And
you.
make sure you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday with another incredible guest.